this week, we covered a story regarding Congress passing a bill that urged Donald Trump to condemn white supremacists in the country. Now, interestingly enough, today, Donald Trump decided to double down on statements that he made equating Antifa or counter-protesters during the Charlottesville rally to those white supremacists that he's been asked to condemn. So he was speaking to Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina. He is the only black Republican senator, and he does not agree with Donald Trump equating the two sides. And so he wanted to kind of confront him about it. And unfortunately, again, Donald Trump decided to double down on his previous statements. So let me tell you what those statements were. He said, especially in light of the advent of Antifa, he used the word advent. I'm proud of him. Wow.
He also used the word
Antifa.
So he said, especially in light of the advent of Antifa, if you look at what's going on there, you know, you have some pretty bad dudes on the other side also. He continued to say, now because of what's happened since then with Antifa, you look at really what's happened since Charlottesville. A lot of people are saying, in fact, a lot of people have actually written, gee, Trump might have a point. I said, you've got some very bad people on the other side, which is true.
Okay. No, a lot of people haven't said that. Breitbart and other white nationalists have said that. And since you're a white nationalist, you read the other white nationalist crap. And shockingly enough, they agree with you that white supremacy is awesome. So he's like, you know that other people don't like Antifa either. My right-wing friends. Look, and what you think of Antifa is a different issue, as Tim Scott, the Republican from South Carolina, also pointed out. He's like, no, in the case of Charlottesville, what happened was enormously clear. There were guys chanting Nazi chants like blood and soil and the Jews will not replace us. They did the equivalent of a Klan rally with torches, just like the Klan used to do in the South. And then they ran over a counter protester and murdered her. So at least the guy who was charged did, and he was an avowed neo-Nazi. So that one is not both sides do it, and not remotely. It is really as simple a case as you can possibly have. If you can't condemn people chanting Nazi chants with Klan torches, murdering people in America, and you have to say, well, no, equally guilty, both sides do it. There's something, well, we think wrong with you, but you and your friends who you read think, no, there's nothing wrong at all. Yeah, we're white nationalists, so we do this, and then we don't like the other guys who are anti-fascist.
Yeah. It's amazing. He'll continue doubling down. It is what it is. He's not going to change his mind about that. And for anyone else who likes to equate the two, I mean, you're calling Antifa, which, by the way, in some cases doesn't behave the way that it should. Like, I'm keeping it real. I think in some cases Antifa does deserve criticism. When things do get physical or violent, I don't care what the group is, they deserve criticism. Don't get violent. You are being counterproductive. However, again, to equate those two sides is so incredibly ridiculous when one side murdered someone and the other side did not.
And by the way, look, I think that violence in the name of anti-fascism is not a great idea, and I know they think that it is. They're like, well, they're fascists. We have to fight them with fire. No, that's hatred only breeds more hatred. Anyway, we can get into quoting different sides here, but fascists and anti-fascists are not equal. One side is in favor of fascism, the other side is opposed to fascism. But for guys like Trump, that actually is 50-50. They're like, fascism, not fascism, I don't know. Like, and that's an open question for him. That's why he keeps saying it. The other reason he says it is because he can't help himself. Yeah. He's a really dumb guy and he doesn't know that this causes political damage. And so-
Does it cause political damage though?
Yes. Democrats just won a state race in Oklahoma by 20 points. They had lost that same race just a little while ago by 20 points. It's a 40-point swing in the middle of Oklahoma. It causes damage. But he thinks, well, I don't know what you're talking about. All the white nationalists around me totally agree. Anti-fascists are terrible. And so both sides do it. But he can't help himself. He doubles down, he keeps on digging because he's not smart enough to know to not dig.
And yesterday we did the story of the ESPN host, Jamil, who made some statements on Twitter about how Trump is a white supremacist. Sarah Huckabee Sanders responded back saying that it was outrageous and it was a fireable offense. But what do you think he is? Like, if you can't tell the truth about the president, then what can you do? And also, isn't that the type of freedom of speech that you guys are saying you want to protect, right? Aren't you saying that we shouldn't fire people simply because you disagree with them? Oh, that only applies to people who spew conservative hate.
If you like this clip of the Young Turks, you know there's a whole live 2-hour show, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern every day, and you can download it or stream it and watch it without ads if you become a member. tytnetwork.com/join.